Hi there, I'm Brendan Laughlin. I am the Director of Client Success here at the Wellington Initiative. Thank you for joining us for this quick video and love to share more about the Wellington Engagement Index. So what we'll do today in this quick video is just to walk through what the Engagement Index is and where it came from and how it is used in schools to measure student engagement and provide really great data to administrators and teachers alike. So the Engagement Index was developed by folks at the Wellington School. So the Wellington School is an independent school in Columbus, Ohio. And in fact, today at the Wellington Initiative, we're still a department of the Wellington Schools. Now the tool was developed because we wanted a different way of measuring student success in the classroom. We felt that we had a lot of great ways of measuring whether students knew things, right? We have grades, we have SAT scores and the like, but we felt that there was a lot of it's great to be able to be part of such a great school. Just weren't capturing that we weren't measuring. So we decided that we would be a really great school if we accomplished two different things at the same time. Firstly, that students would be deeply challenged by the work they were doing. And secondly, that they loved the work they were doing at the same time. So if students loved their class experiences and felt they were really challenging, we called that being engaged. And that's the thing we wanted to focus on in our work. So we are trying to get to this idea of student engagement and making sure that each of our students are engaged in each of their classes and that they are challenged and that they love that experience. Now, we have a definition of engagement, but we need a way of actually measuring this data, right? So we put these two concepts onto a really simple grid system, just like this, where we have challenge on the y-axis and love it on the x-axis. So when we have an experience that's both highly challenging and high on love it, we call that being engaged. That's our core definition. So we want as many student experiences to be up in this top right area as possible. But if we name that section, we have to at least nickname the others, right? So where we have high challenge and low love it, we call that the grind quadrant. Where we have low love it and low challenge, we call it the bored quadrant. And where we have high love it and low challenge, we call it the entertained quadrant. So this is how we understand student engagement. On an axis of challenged to unchallenged, love it to hate it, and then each of these four quadrants. So if a student's experience is in this engaged area, that's great. If it's in the grind, that tells us more about their experiences. If it's in entertained, we can take something to learn from that. So we now have this way of understanding engagement, but we need a way to actually get that feedback from our students. Now, when we're trying to figure out, do students love or hate their experiences? Are they challenged or unchallenged? We thought, who do we actually go to figure that out? Do we ask the teachers for their impressions? Do we ask parents? And what we decided was that students know if they love or hate something. Students know if they're challenged or not challenged. So if we're going to get this data, let's just go straight to the students and ask them. So we developed this web-based tool that lets us measure this feedback from students in a really quick and simple way. So students can log on to this website from any web browser, any device with a web browser, I should say. So whether that's a smartphone or a laptop, anything like that. They click begin to get started, and they put in their unique school code and student code. And then they're given a list of the classes on their schedule and the grid. And all the students do is click on a class and then place it on the grid where they'd like it to go. So this is a really quick, really simple assessment. It takes our students 3 to 4 minutes to complete, and because of that, we can have students do this many times in a school year. So we'll often do twice per grading term, so whether that's twice in a trimester, twice in a quarter, twice in a semester, so we can get a lot of feedback to our teachers and to our administrators about what students are actually thinking in their classes. And then they click done, and they're done. And then once that data is in the system, they can any teacher or administrator can access it very quickly in our online dashboard. So I'm just going to log in here. We can go to our dashboard. As you can see, there's a lot of different ways we can look at this data. And we'll go to a test school to look at their feedback. Now we're going to back up our date range to the 2018 school year. And as you can see, there's a lot of different ways that we can look at this data, whether broken down by grade level, through changes over time. We can look at individual students' responses or filter down into more specific areas. So we think this is a really powerful tool. We're proud to say that this year we're working with over 100 different schools across the country, and we would love to be able to work with you as well. I think a really great way of introducing a tool like this is to run pilot programs with subsets of teachers that are interested in using the tool. So maybe you have a department or a grade level, or maybe just a handful of volunteers who would like to get this data and see how it affects their practice. And we're more than happy to provide free trials of any sort to help make that happen, especially in the spring term coming up. So if you're interested in a pilot, or if you have any questions or any thoughts about the tool, you can contact us through the Clever portal or by contacting me directly. Here is my email address and phone number. So thank you so much for your time. Hoping you have a good afternoon and have a happy Thanksgiving.